South Africa, Cape Town. It already looked beautiful from the little window.
You want to see? I want y'all to see it when I see it. See it with me. See it together.
Man, beautiful, 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 man. I guess we gotta show them my passports and guns. Jamming on this juvenile, that reality check out from high school, you know. You know, I'm sitting in the car right now with Miss Yolanda. She giving me a lot of little background. You know, what's crazy is in America, our racial lines is so rigid that you really just like black or you white, and we don't care about no in between. You feel me? One drop rule type thing. You know, the person that walked me here was, you know, considered a color. He was telling me about his grandma was like Swedish. He knew Afrikaners and stuff like that. You know, my driver though, the great Yolanda, you feel me? Been putting me on game. I'm really just thrown off right now. I ain't gotta do nothing till tomorrow, so I'm gonna take my bag to the room. Probably go find me a little South African alcohol, you know, a little liquor or something. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I think Jay and Hope are already here. UB's on the way. He got his own car. You know. Hey, can you put it on the whatever y'all listen to around here? Whatever this is, I want to listen to what y'all listen to. Nah, something like some African music.
African music?
Yeah. You got some? Uh-oh. My South African friend, Miss.
How are you?
Yes. I was just asking somebody about you yesterday. I said. Yeah, I'm gonna eat first. I'm gonna come back. Check them out. We out here, man. Just enjoying life right now. I flew over the Middle Passage to get here, and of course I was thinking about flying over the Middle Passage, the transatlantic slave trade, looking at the Atlantic right now. And I did some research, and I found out that, you know, the Dutch had been colonizing this area for a long time. Actually, before America was founded in 1776, they was already, you know what I'm saying, had a little stronghold here. You feel me? When you think about it, like, Europeans went through a lot to be able to get that spice route, and they still don't season the food that well. You feel me? And it's just, you know, it's a global pathological thing that all people of color know about Europeans. And it's just like, man, y'all set up a little boat stop in Cape Town just to be able to get to India. You feel me? And then Angolans, listen, man, y'all know Angola Penitentiary in Louisiana, huh? Right now, I'm right in the country below Angola, and man, the Dutch was enslaving Angola. So I don't think you can hear me, but I'll come back. I'll come back.
And then don't call me Muhammad Ali because I'm boxing everything.
She said, can I get this box too? I said, and then she went to Muhammad Ali because she boxing food. Don't you ever disrespect the Muhammad Ali ever again. We got these lamb chops going. Check the view, baby.
And you mentioned the transgender wing, that the transgender area of the transgender wing.
No, they sit in the waiting area and we do everything there. It's just that what we are looking at now is to have specific activities. What? Tactic and other specific needs for minors, for transgender.
My trip to South Africa really was a long time coming, man. Back in 2020, we were talking about medical mistrust in the Black community, and I met this gentleman by the name of Dr. Stefan Wallace. I made a video about him. He introduced me into doing a lot of this HIV-specific work, man. He told me about the opportunity to be able to go to Africa. Of course, I lit up because I've always wanted to go to the, the motherland, the continent. And that's what brings me to this video right here, man. Finally had the opportunity to go to Africa, Cape Town, South Africa to be specific. Big shout out to the HIV Vaccine Trial Network. I have a partnership with them. I was there at the HVTN. That's what HVTN stands for HIV Vaccine Trial Network. I'm referring to it as HVTN for the rest of this video. But HVTN had a conference in Cape Town because they have one of the bases down in Cape Town. One of the reasons why I went to South Africa is to learn about the specifics in terms of HIV pathology, HIV treatment, HIV prevention, and learning that South Africa is one of the epicenters for how we get research and how we get treatment around HIV. Me having the opportunity to, really be in Cape Town, meet a lot of Xhosa people, meet a lot of the Zulu people. It was very liberating for me, man. I think like a lot of African Americans, I kind of, long for my African identity. I did my little DNA test, found out I was Nigerian and Sierra Leone, and I say that for a whole nother video. But being there in Africa and being, mistaken as one of the locals by the Xhosa people and by the Zulu people, it felt real good, man. I actually made a video where I was, clicking with the Xhosa sound, with the Xhosa sound, and there were a lot of people in the comment sections from South Africa like, man, you click better than South Africans, you know what I'm saying? And it made me feel good, like when I was at this place called Googler too, me being able to be there and be around like locals that was like really in their village, really in their little township, their hood or whatever you want to call it, being welcome there and being talked to in in their native languages, and really like having how they really show love really was like, man, I appreciate this, you know what I'm saying? Also, I was able to, capture a little bit of the work that HVTN does in South Africa, along with like the doctors, the African doctors they met, they work with, the African researchers they work with, the African people they work in, within the community. And really what you're able to see is that there's a nice ecosystem for how we're able to get really all our information and resources around HIV. The sad thing about it is, though South Africa is one of the epicenters of HIV research, it usually is the last place to get some of the resources that come from the blood, sweat, and tears of, people there doing these, these trials. Here is one of the volunteers right here.
As a gay man here in South Africa, like what is the relationship that like straight people have to gay advocates here? Like do you see many allies being involved in HIV prevention and HIV treatment, or is it typically amongst only like queer people?
Not really. There's always this collaboration. And with South Africa being South Africa, where it is now currently, there's been quite a lot of people working together collaboratively for the same goal, for the same vision. And with that, it's a mix of allies, people who are really aligned with the gay community, and also more broadly, just wanting what's better for their nation.
I know right now we at the Destin Tutu like Cynic. What is like the perception queer people here have of Desmond Tutu and his legacy? At the last place we was talking to Amelia or something, right? Amelia, right? And she was telling us that on Facebook she had made a post about it being like gender inclusive, and somebody said in the comment section that Desmond Tutu was rolling over in his grave. So I was curious about, is it like a homophobic perception that people have a bit in Tutu, or what was more of a inclusive advocate for all human rights?
So it depends with Desmond Tutu, depends on which side of history you come from. So that's one part, because one part of him was the fighter for human rights. And in his young lives as a young pastor, conservative and all, being a pastor, you don't allow this, you don't allow that, you don't allow this. And, but as he grew up, he became a human rights advocate for all rights. And where the Desmond Tutu Foundation also talking about gender inclusivity in everything, that brings a different picture to show you the type of character this man had, you know, and his values about this life, about human life in general. Because a lot of times people just say, no, these are these human rights, these are these ones' rights, but he just use human rights in general. Yeah.
In the States, that there's a correlation between HIV and people that are queer. Meaning that in the States, a lot of people think that most of the time we're talking about HIV, we're only talking about queer people. Is it similar here in South Africa?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, no.
That's in South Africa, the HIV pandemic has no gender in it because everyone is affected by it. Because even if you could even look now, it's a lot of heterosexual males that are getting infected with the virus each and every day. We're getting these new numbers that are coming up. And also, if you look at in part of it, it's a lot of young women and a whole lot of older women who have also been affected by this. And then if you look that in relation to the queer people, just there are incidences, a lot of those incidences, but they're just minor. So it truly shows that this is just not a one-sided pandemic, but it's an epidemic for all of us.
A lot of times people in the world believe they have to come and save Africans. And what I like from being here is that I've seen a lot of Africans helping out Africans, Africa saving Africa. Can you speak more to what it means for people of Cape Town, that's from Cape Town, helping Cape Town, and how the rest of the world kind of believes that Africans always got to be helped from the outside? You get what I'm saying? I get you. I'm getting into.
I've always hated that notion to say we as Africans need help. We don't need help. We just need your resources. A lot of times, how I view this is that you came to our countries, you came to our shores, you took as many resources as you possibly could take, and then you went out. Now you're coming back with those resources in the thing of saying, hey, we are here to help you. It's fine, but as Africans, I believe if you could go to other African countries, that's where you'd see that this notion of saying Africa needs help, no, we can definitely help ourselves. Because if you could look at the history of research, especially in relation to big viruses, bacteria, it was all done there in Africa. And when you look at that, we've been also pioneers in latest technologies, in medicine advancement, the ECMO machine, South Africa, the CAT scan, South Africa. We really have the brains aside, but it's just that a lot of the resources have been taken out and just need those resources back. Yeah, on the back.
Definitely, those resources back. Yeah, you hear that, basically. When you colonizers and settlers come to Africa and you take a whole bunch of resources and you come back with a saving mentality, folks ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? Recognize that the resources that you have that makes it what you feel like you're superior, you stole them. For real this time, my last question, because I've been very intrigued with the different racial categorizations here, with like black and colored and white. Gay colored men and gay black men mingle, or like, nah, they stay separate?
It depends where you are. It depends where you are, but at Pride, yeah, we all remember. And then it depends also the type of, because with Cape Town, you can see two different worlds. Yeah, you see the ultra rich and the ultra poor. Yes. And the only time those two get to meet is through Pride. And then even if they meet in affluent clubs in Cape Town, that would be your 021 bar. Up in CBD, very beautiful club that I can tell you. And, it's in such those clubs that you get to meet the mixture of the two people are just up and coming, just trying to figure themselves out. In a setting whereby we sit with the ultra rich and the ultra poor, will never, not in Cape Town.
What you're saying is typically colored people are more ultra rich and not ultra poor, or is it like?
Our colored people decided different. So the ultra rich is white. And then you get your upper affluent middle class made up of colored Indians and blacks. And then we also get the ultra poor, predominantly black people. So there's that also. So it depends where you are in the economic space of your life. That would then tell you where you fit in the slide. And as I told you about the club of like a 02, and that's where you get to upper middle class people. That you would find in such places your interesting clubs in Cape Town.
We want to go do some wine tasting. And it's like, I'm gonna be trying to reflect on my time being here in Cape Town because they got a lot of different politics here around here that's different than what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Xhosa people and the Zulu man. You feel me? They've been showing me, they've been teaching me some shit. You feel me? It's a lot of it's a lot of resonance of apartheid and colonialism around here for sure. They might have ended apartheid, but none of them white folks really let go of none of the land that much or none of the businesses they run around here. You feel me? But right now, it's just trying to catch the scene, you feel me? My driver named Ahmad, you know, from Somalia, you know what I'm saying? And shit, listen, man, even he know Donald Trump don't like black folks like that, you feel me? Or even he know that, you feel me, Donald Trump is not what's going on. But somehow, goddamn, 60, 70 million Americans then agreed, like, hey, we need Trump back in office, and all we remember is that good old economy that he inherited from, you know what I'm saying, Barack Obama, and I remember it was good. And it's like, man, this man brought down, like forget your feelings and what you remember. Statistically speaking, he increased the national debt by trillions of dollars.
Hey.
Nah.
Kamala win, Kamala. We're going to win America. Yes.
Feel me? He was rooting for Kamala, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being able to see Africans saving Africans in Africa, you tell me, doing something for Africans in Africa, like it made me think about how infantile the world make the whole continent look, and make it as if the only way that Africans can survive is unless, you feel me, Americans or English or French come in and save them type shit when they got all the resources themselves. As a matter of fact, HVTN, the HIV Vaccine Trial Network, gave me the ability to go into a few different labs. I'm talking about, I went to a lab that was like this, you know what I'm saying, like a hospital that's in like this Dutch hospital. I went to Googlaboo, I think, no, Googlatu, I think it's Googlatu is what that area? Yeah, Googlatu. I went to Googlatu. It's a little township, you feel me, seeing the site there.
How's it? Good.
Shit, I don't know. To wine, to the tour. For the tour. For the tour. But I gotta walk away.
Phone number?
1-4, yeah.
1-4.
Simple ride. White supremacy really global though.
Yeah.
Really global though. Like white supremacy really global. You feel me?
Then I had the opportunity to go to a place called Long Street in Cape Town, man. This is where my Zulu Xhosa brother, you know what I'm saying, Bro was the one that took me to this winery, you know what I'm saying. He took me to Long Street, and I actually was introduced to him by my homegirl, City, you know what I'm saying, to City, you feel me. She was one of the, you know what I'm saying, native Xhosa people that she stayed in Johannesburg, and she does research, you know what I'm saying, for HBTN, and she wanted to introduce me to the people, and it was great, man. One of the things that really caught me off guard and took me by surprise is how the switch for colorism is in South Africa. You know, like in America, being dark skinned, especially being a dark skinned man, correlates you more to being more rough, more rugged, more masculine, more criminal, more thuggish, more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed like in South Africa, the light skinned colored people, you feel me? They were seen, especially the men, it seemed like they were seen as much more aggressive, you know what I'm saying, much more unrational, much more, you feel me, mean, much more rough, much more rugged, you know what I'm saying? And that was something that was different for me. I feel like being an American, you know what I mean? Which brings me to a conversation about Tyler. Remember when Tyler talked about how she's not black, she's colored? Now that I've been to South Africa, she's definitely not black. Like, the color line here in America is so rigid. A lot of times we get lost in the sauce to the one-drop rule, and we lose sight of the one-drop rule being implicated with the impurity politics about racism, and we forget how other places around the world did not practice that sense of racial purity. Arguably, you feel me, South African colored person is very similar to a, you know, Louisianan Creole. You feel me? It's like the idea that, you know, they were this particular different, you know, European people, whether we talking about the Belgium or the Netherlands or we talking about the Dutch, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, they seen their blood being so pure that once they mixed in with some black people, they seen their bloodlines being something different. You know what I'm saying? But also when you think about it too, it's like the one drop rule in America was used to justify always already being to expand the labor force. You know what I'm saying? When you in Africa, you around a whole bunch of black folks always already. So you don't need to have these arbitrary ways of defining who is black because you don't need, like, it's already a standing reserve, you know what I'm saying, for labor. You know what I mean? You have to do that. Something else that caught me off guard was because I'm a little familiar with Angolan history based off of like the Louisiana penitentiary called Angola, you know what I'm saying? I know that the country of Angola that's also located in South Africa, not the country of South Africa, you know what I'm saying, be confused, but it's located there. I know that there were a lot of boat trips from the Americas to, you know what I'm saying, from Angola to the Americas, and that's how we get the Angolan prisoners in Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? It's like something very unique about how the rest of the world, or something unique about, to me, how Europeans seen the Angolans as just like a standing reserve for enslaved labor, because the Dutch, who colonized and settled, you know what I'm saying, who are the South African white people, you know what I'm saying, Elon Musk folks, like they also built up Cape Town in the beginning of this colonial settler, you know what I'm saying, from the Dutch with using Angolan people. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of blew my mind, man. I never thought in my wildest dreams there would be anywhere in Africa I could go and a person of a European descent can make me feel not welcome. A lot of times us as black folks, we'll see, you know, white South Africans, they'll come to America and be like, I'm more African than you. And look at them like, the nerve of you, colonizer. But now that I've been to South Africa, white South Africans believe they more African than Africans, man. I had the opportunity of going to this little winery, and when we went to this winery, it was obvious how race and class, though they're very distinct and different, how they corded together uniquely in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? It was almost certain instances where because I was in that space and place, they knew that I was either a foreigner, American, or, you know what I'm saying, from Europe or something like that, or that I came from some particular class status, because that's really how divided it is. As a matter of fact, as soon as I got off the plane, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I got off the plane, you feel me, in South Africa, you see the differences. You see the townships that's literally built by like 10 cans down there, you feel me? And you feel me? I'm talking about throwing together shacks across the street from like a whole neighborhood of mansions, you feel me? It kind of reminded me a little bit of Baltimore, like no respect to Baltimore, but I will say South Africa, like the economic disparities was very different from Baltimore though. You know what I'm saying? I made a video about this on TikTok and people was like, you never been to Baltimore? You never been? Like, yeah, I've been to those places, but I want you to recognize that, you know, being an exploited place in the global north versus being in the global south, two different ways. I put it a different way. Being in the hood in a developed country versus being in the hood in a overexploited country, you feel me, or underdeveloped country, two different things. You know what I'm saying? I know us in America, especially as black Americans, I can think about how rough this country has been on us and how we come from ghettos and how we come from hoods, but I will say there are some structural differences between how we struggle in America and how they struggle in other places. That's not to deny, you feel me, that we don't struggle in America. I'm a first generation college student, you feel me? Shit, both of my, you know, I ain't gonna go there for this video, but I'm from the mud, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to recognize that there was a lot of privileges in being in America, which also took me something too that caught me off guard. Though there are a lot of privileges to being an American, it blew my mind how we can buy the same products in this country and it be full of a whole bunch of chemicals that we can't even pronounce or enunciate, you know what I'm saying? Precipitate, a whole bunch of dyes and all that. And the same company that sells the same product to, let's say, South Africa. Though we are so privileged in this country, we get all this access, it blow my mind how much this American government allows for corporations to get away with, in the hood, what we call stretching the work. You know what I'm saying? You stepping on the work, trying to make it stretch. It's like, hey, they sell us like, I ate a bag of barbecue potato chips in South Africa. When I flipped over the bag, it ain't had that many ingredients in it, and it tastes actually like smoked chicken. You know what I'm saying? In America, like, you damn near can taste the chemicals. You feel me? When you flip over the bag, it's like literally like 50 different chemicals in it. You know what I'm saying? 40 different chemicals in it. Versus when I was in there in South Africa, it was just something that I was able to really get into, man. Though apartheid is over with, the remnants of apartheid is still very present in South Africa. Just like colonialism is supposed to be over with in America, but we know it's still there. Which kind of brings us into, you know what I'm saying, something being critical. Something I learned in college is that we don't live in a post-colonial world. Colonialism is always already happening. And that's the reason why I've seen so much solidarity in South Africa between Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into different markets, walking down the street, driving down the road. You see Palestinian flags in windows. You see Palestinian flags when you go up in the thing and it's like, man. So I started doing a little research and found that Palestine was completely robbed and stolen from, you feel me, from them by, you feel me, the Zionists in 1948. But we know that the process of stealing Palestine happened way before 1948. Likewise, the birth of apartheid South Africa also was born in 1948, but we know the process of, you feel me, them kind of extracting South Africa from, you feel me, Black South African people, you feel me, it started before then. And what you was able to recognize is that there are a lot of relationships politically, socially, and economically that South Africa has with Palestine. And that's the reason why Nelson Mandela has said that, you feel me, without the freedom of Palestine, Africa will never be free. And it really just showed how when Huey P. Newton say think globally and act locally, that it's really always already ways to recognize how the struggle that's going on abroad is like very, very intimately tied to what we're experiencing here in America, what we're experiencing, you know what I'm saying, in your hood. The question is, do you know? You feel me? Can you define the phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner, man? I had a beautiful, amazing time in South Africa. I learned a lot about myself. I think the thing that kind of robbed my trip, and you see me talking about this and while I'm there, is that I was there during the election.
I definitely never want to forget this right here. This is when I learned, you feel me? I'm in Cape Town, South Africa. I just learned that Donald Trump beat the hell out of Kamala Harris in this electoral college and the popular vote. You feel me? I'm gonna get ready to go to a wine tasting and going to an America that ain't gonna be the same. And shit, apparently, millions and millions and millions and majority of Americans believe that, you know, Donald Trump is gonna be the thing for the country.
And during the election, we thought that it was going to be so close that it was going to take a couple of days. So imagine how I felt. It's my last day in Africa. I wake up and I see damn near it's like it's been called, like Donald Trump has won. I wasn't surprised that Donald Trump won the presidency. I was surprised the way that he won. Now, you know what I'm saying? I think in that time that's how I was anyway. Now I feel like I didn't kind of, you know what I'm saying, done some reflecting, really seeing how the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris kind of ran their shit into the ground and how they were unwilling to kind of unlink themselves from a lot of the reasons why Joe Biden had to step down, because he had a whole bunch of unpopular policies and stances. And Kamala Harris, a lot like liberal institutions, didn't want to criticize their predecessor as well as didn't want to criticize the institution. And what we see is that a lot of America, you feel me, is willing to like be past that. You know what I'm saying? I knew as a black person, though, when they started talking about we got to save democracy, as a black person that considered themselves critical of what I would consider the hypocrisy of democracy, I literally thought, like, what does it mean for black people to save democracy? And what has democracy done for black people? In a democracy, in this democracy specifically, we've had to bleed for everything of access that we've gotten in this country. Whether we was getting into schools, whether we was trying to vote, whether we was trying to get a job, whether we was no matter what we had to do, we had to like spill blood. You feel me? Like that's the democracy that we know. So to me, it started to become a very romanticized, sanitized view of the institution of America and of democracy, and it made it hard for us to even advocate. You feel me? When we started thinking about the genocide that's happening in Palestine, you feel me, was how I got on this topic right now. And shit, Kamala Harris, the Democratic Party or their supporters feel like ain't the time for that. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm in the beautiful country of South Africa, seeing the beautiful parts, you know what I'm saying, Cape Town, someone also caught me off guard. They got penguins in Cape Town. They got penguins in South Africa, man. Penguins. That's how close it is to, man, crazy, right? But the last day being in South Africa and that being, you know what I'm saying, the day after the election, kind of robbed me of being able to enjoy my last day, because I was processing so much politically, socially, economically, what America could look like and what a lot of people stood to lose, you feel me, based off of Trump being elected. Now, as a black person that has read a lot about the resiliency of black people, you feel me? And you know what I'm saying, as a nigga that was able to survive Trump's presidency and survive, you feel me, a whole bunch of other presidencies, like you know what I'm saying, we're gonna figure it out. You feel me? I'm gonna figure it out. But the people that's not going to be able to figure it out, I definitely, you know what I'm saying, was really feeling for them. And then because America is so hegemonic and powerful and dominating throughout the world, Cape Town is damn near like a metropolis, you feel me? It's like Miami meets New York meets San Francisco damn near, you feel me? But just in Africa, you know what I mean? And because it's all those cities to get like, they meets in one damn near, South Africa, that's how I would describe Cape Town. There were a lot of non-Americans that was watching the election in America, concerned about America, and really just following very closely what was happening with the presidential election. So I'm having a whole bunch of conversations about non-Americans' perception of America while in South Africa. It definitely had me thinking, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was so saucy at that old wine refinery. It was like, damn, this shit crazy. Education is elevation. Hey, this is on the website. Go check it out, man. Shout out to South Africa on TikTok, man. They've been showing me so much love. Like, it's some analytics I have on videos. It's like 40% of people that watch the videos was in South Africa. 35% of people that watch the videos in South Africa, man. I love being in South Africa so much. The next time I go back, I want to be there for like a week, and I want to be able to travel the whole country. I want to go to Durban. I want to go to Johannesburg. I want to go to, you know what I'm saying, Zululand. I want to go to, you feel me? I want to go to Pretoria. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to a few of them places and really be able to really see it. Because from what I heard is that Cape Town is like hella white. You know what I'm saying? Even the South Africans is like, Cape Town not a good representation of our country. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind throughout this video. Keep that in mind throughout this video. I really appreciate everything I've been able to learn about HIV. All of the amazing doctors. You know what I'm saying? Something that I also really realized is that Africa is not underdeveloped. It's overexploited. And the idea that Africa needs to be saved by outsiders and foreigners places Africa and Africans in a very infantile position, will be justified in being like paternalistic to them as like children, no matter how old they are, that we need to help them with their natural resources, help them with this, that, and the other. And just like, nah, we ain't. That is not only a colonial mindset, it comes at the expense of the autonomy of Africans. You feel me? Like, being around African doctors and researchers really made me feel like the world has sold Africa and Africans short. And us in the global north and the Western world, we really lost in the sauce in Western propaganda and how we view how Africans are able to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because most Africans, really all Africa, can take care of itself if it wasn't for European corporations and American corporations coming in and causing instability. Education is elevation. Reach over me search. It's been real, y'all.